You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
Good evening and welcome to another edition of the OHL in 60 podcast. It is the first of the month of November. Can't believe we're there already.
Yeah.
I'm Reece Doumani along with Colin Ward. BC is behind the scenes. Thank you everybody for tuning in wherever you're tuning in from, whether it be from your couch, your car, from a hockey arena. That'd be pretty sweet. But if you're watching us on YouTube on the Armchair GM Sports Network, make sure you hit that like and subscribe button to make sure you don't miss any of the content that gets rolled out across the platform. And of course, any audio platform that you're listening to us on, we really appreciate it. And it's this month. The game is this month. That's why you see the hats on the YouTube stream. Michigan hosting Ohio State.
Can't wait.
Putting their 4-game win streak on the line at the Big House this year. And we've got a little bit of a bet, I guess. Agreement, whatever you want to call it. In past, we've kind of done a thing where, whoever's team loses, and most recently it's been Ohio State over the last 4 years, where the person has to wear the color of the winning team. So Colin Ward would have to wear maize and blue. I would have to wear red and gray or whatever it is. So let's do. Why do our universities use weird colors? It's yellow and blue and red and silver or gray. I don't know. It's just my personal thing. But I guess maize and blue sounds better. Scarlet and gray sounds better than just plain old yellow or plain old red. So,
tradition.
We're going to do that this year. So the first show following the game, whoever loses, going to have to wear the opposing team's hat. And for that next show. And it should be fun to hear Hail to the Victors for the 5th straight year. And Bryce Underwood going to lead them to victory, the home state kid. Yeah, I mean,
Heisman against
Purdue.
Heisman favorite. Yeah, that's rough. Ohio State plays Purdue this week. But
the Boilermakers.
Julian saying. Yeah, hey, you know what? Purdue's jerseys and stuff is kind of cool, to be honest.
I like it. Yeah.
I mean,
yeah.
Great. I mean, it's too bad they're not good. It's like Northwestern. I like Northwestern's jersey, maybe because, and I know BC off in the distance in the clouds is going to love this one. I know he's a Western Mustangs fan too, but maybe it's that purple that just looks so cool with Northwestern. It reminds me of Western University. Obviously, when Western can get the ball out of the end zone, but go Stangs. But they got bounced early this year in an embarrassing one. But maybe that's what it is with Northwestern. But there's something about those jerseys are cool. Like, I like those two. Those, I don't know why, but those two are pretty cool.
Yeah. So it'll be exciting. That's a little bit of a side bet for the Michigan-Ohio State game coming up later this month, and we're getting ready for it already on November 4th. So we'll give you a rundown of today's topics on the show, OHL headlines, and that included 3 trades, 1 major trade, 1 shake your head trade, and 1 depth trade that I think is going to work out for both sides. So we'll get to that along with the rest of the OHL headlines. Sam Dickinson played game number 10 in a shootout loss to the Detroit Red Wings, 3-2. He scored his first NHL goal in that game, so he's one of few players that we're going to discuss. Do we think they're going to come back? Dickinson just hit game 10. I think that's out of the question of him being a London Knight this year.
And he had the meeting. That means find a place.
Yeah, exactly.
Find a place.
Exactly. So
get your extra clothes shipped out.
Yeah, or find a veteran to shack up with for the next year. So and move in.
Did you see the Matthew Schaefer story?
No.
Living with the Martins, living with Matt Martin.
That's cool.
He's just going into Matt Martin's closet now and grabbing like a Gucci T-shirt, just living it up. I
Matt
thought that
Martin made that much money. He could afford that
in
Holy
NHL.
crap.
Wealthy family too, right? Sydney and Esiason, like
fair enough.
Quite the family. And I saw the picture too with Matthew Schaefer, and that's the one thing Islander fans are gonna love him. Like New Yorkers are gonna love Matthew Schaefer. Seeing him in the picture with Boomer Esiason, covering in Boomer Esiason has a Rangers jersey on, and Matthew Schaefer's covering it with his hand, with his arm, like covering the Rangers logo. That was unbelievable. They're gonna love Matthew Schaefer. The personality's infectious. I mean, we saw that last year. It's too bad he didn't play many games in the OHL, but we saw it last year, the top prospects game. The three of us did in Brantford, where you saw him being the coach, right? Reading the lineup, the music at game day skate on the bench. Like he's everywhere. Yeah. And I mean, Matthew Schaefer, and honestly, the CHL National Development Team program, that game as well. Matthew Schaefer owned that game. I mean, so it's pretty cool to see the personality and the skill will translate to the next level. I mean, OHL grad, it's always cool to see.
Yeah. Yeah, absolutely. And the photo we're going to put up on our YouTube stream eventually of him and Misa. Misa hasn't hit 9 games yet, or hasn't hit 10 games yet, I should say. He's 2 away as the show releases on November 4th, Tuesday, November 4th. So a decision looming for Michael Misa. Is he a San Jose Shark or is he a Saginaw Spirit? We're going to find out over the next week or so. We'll also get to standout players of the week and the month. Of course, those being announced with Halloween being this past Friday. So we'll get to that. We'll then take a quick break and then some details released about the Top Prospects game in Peterborough, the second annual Connor McDavid Top Prospects game. So we'll chat about that. Who's established as the ones to watch?
Who's a trick? Who's a treat?
Yeah. Hey, man. Look at you go. Was that on the fly or did you have that bang?
On the fly.
Holy crap. Had to be.
I have my media notes out on my iPad to my right, and then my phone's off. So, on the fly.
Had to be. Love that.
A little late to the party, but
yeah, we'll be okay.
What's a trick? What's a treat so far?
Yeah, it'll be a fun conversation. I think we're deep enough into the season that we can start to chat about that because as you go throughout probably the first 6 to 8 weeks or so, you have those surprises, but in 6 to 8 weeks, you should see more of a true product of what a team is. And there are a few situations around the league where we're starting to see that. So we'll touch on that in segment number 2. And then the OHL Power Rankings. There was a ton of movement throughout 15 teams. One team did not move, and that's Brantford Bulldogs because they have not lost in regulation yet, which kind of foreshadows our main topic of who's established in the league and who's not. The Brantford Bulldogs have a 40% power play, and we're 4 for 5 in Saginaw on Sunday. And the penalty kill, it's been pretty good too. So we'll get to that. That should be a fun one. But before we get started, we did a little research ahead of the show, and we'll give a shout out to BC for this one because he's got some images to put up on the screen. There's a pretty big event Saturday night down at Rogers Center, Game 7 of the World Series. And it did not go the Blue Jays' way. As Colin Ward sees IKF just sliding home late.
Hey, you guys did a good job. You guys knew about this beforehand. You guys did a good job with this because you guys can attest to this. The first thing I actually talked about was the slide, and I didn't think it was his fault. Okay. I mean, the catch for those on YouTube. I mean, too bad Aaron Judge wasn't in center field. He would have dropped it. Hit it right at him. He would have dropped it like last year in Game 5. Cost the Yankees the World Series.
Too bad it wasn't Volpe that fielded that ground ball on that throw to home.
I know.
That would have been in center field.
Well, that's the problem, right? We weren't playing the Yankees. If we were playing the Yankees, it would have been over 4 games ago. Would have 1 and 3. Didn't even have to play the 4th game. They put a mercy rule, and it would be a world record. Okay, easy there. On YouTube right now, Blue Jay fans, cover your eyes, fast forward. You know what?
Rojas.
It was okay, Vladdy, there is crying in baseball. I mean, you just losing the game. As these pitchers, I'm just commentating on it right now. I'm giving play-by-play for every pitcher BC's putting up right now. But Vladdy crying, I mean, yeah, it's baseball. You work your butt off to get to Game 7. I mean, I was emotional the last 3 days about it. And the part that's tough is I had to wait 27 years to get to this moment. And when you lose like that, it's the worst feeling in the world. It is. Like, as a player, like, in baseball, like, I never lost in an OBA final. Like, I was lucky that department. But, man, to lose in a final like that,
you did lose in an ICBA final, though.
Yeah, but you know what the message was before the game.
Yeah, you had a very bright coach for that one. Yeah,
facts.
Idiot.
It's tough. It's very emotional. Like I was saying before the show, like being a Wings fan in 08, yeah, they win the Stanley Cup. It was great in 09. What happened, but your kid and after, it's like, well, they won the year before, right? Like, it's not like you had to wait that long. And I don't remember this, but I was born 14 days before the Red Wings won the Stanley Cup, like in 98. So like, it's just things like that. But it's devastating though. Like growing up every month, going to a Jays game, that was the most devastating time. Okay, BC. Toronto sports never fails. Well, yeah. If the Toronto Blue Jays played in London, that catch is not made. The home run in the 9th is not happening. None of that's happening. And I truly believe that if it's any city in Canada other than Toronto, yeah.
Oh,
okay.
That was awesome.
It's devastating for sure. Didn't you win the 50-50? That would have been tough.
Did you see how in Scooby-Doo, Fred's usually the dude to unmask the villain? Did you see the graphic of him unmasking the Blue Jays logo and it turns out to be the Toronto Maple Leafs logo?
No, but the Leafs got to win a round though.
They have won a couple in the last few years.
Yeah, but the Leafs are going to go to Game 7 of the Stanley Cup final then?
Job.
What's that?
For the Leafs, second round. They act like that's the Stanley Cup.
Yeah, amazing. For sure.
Haven't been to a final since they won last.
No, exactly. And that's why I think with the Jays, it's different. Like, they honestly, I thought they forced the Dodgers more than I ever thought they were going into the series. Like, I really did. Like, I didn't expect it to go that way. I mean, I didn't expect them to make the playoffs at the beginning of the year. I don't think anybody did. It's devastating. Honestly, it's probably the worst feeling I've had as a sports fan at one of my teams ever. It was heartbreaking. I mean, for the last couple of days, it was frustrating. I mean, that did not happen. Those watching on YouTube, that did not happen. But no, it's tough. Yeah, it's horrible to go through. I mean, when you're that close, right, and you had to lead in the 9th, like it was right there. And then seeing the thing in Edmonton where they thought they won when the fans thought they won the World Series, that's horrible. Like, that's horrible. And at the plate, with Edmonton, Chicago on Saturday, like that reaction, like that's tough to see for an Edmonton Blue Jay fan for sure. But it sucks. Well, and it's tough to hear. Like, the worst thing to hear is, "Oh, you'll be back next year." No, you won't. Like, it's so hard
thing anybody could say. Yeah,
exactly.
That's dumb.
Exactly.
Which, by the way, the odds for the 2026 World Series are out. Blue Jays aren't even top 5.
And that's okay. Because they weren't on there last year either. But yeah, I think that it's just like to say that because it's so hard to get back. There's no guarantees in baseball. Like, there's no guarantees. Like, it's one of the hardest games to play. And it's one of those sports where every single day you live the way you're playing. If when you're in a slump, life's miserable. But and it's going to happen. You're going to go through slumps. And then there's days where you're going to have good days. And I know Yankee fans have never had a good day since 2008 or whenever the heck the last time was they won the World Series. But, then you have good days. But I just think that it's so hard to get back. And it's just unfortunate. Like, it sucks. It's the worst feeling in the world as a sports fan, but to say they're going to just be back next year, like, come on. I know if whatever helps you feel better, but I don't even want to think about next year. It's like still grieving.
I mean, to make you feel better, it seems like a lot of Blue Jay fans are blaming Carney the Clown because he met with the Oilers before they lost in the Stanley Cup final, and he met with John Schneider before the World Series. So that's on that idiot. So there you go.
Yeah.
But we're not going to get into politics because I will get canceled. So let's talk about the Ontario Hockey League because it's something we enjoy, unlike politics. But the Brantford Bulldogs and the Oshawa Generals hook up for the biggest blockbuster of the year so far. Ben Danford and Zach Sandu, which what a hell of a weekend for those two guys in Michigan to make their Bulldogs debuts.
Yeah, they looked good Saturday or Sunday.
Yeah, they're lined up together on the second pairing, both games against Flint and Saginaw. Going the other way, tough one in Aidan O'Donnell. I'm a huge fan of his. Oshawa, you're getting one heck of a player. He is really, really good. Lucas Moore, great OA, great leader for the young club that you're going to have in Oshawa. You get the rights to Luca Di Placido, who could be a guy late in the season as well. And then draft picks, 9 of them. Ottawa's second in 2026. Brantford's fourth in 2026. Kingston's second in 2027. Barrie's 10th in 2027. Oshawa's second in 2028, so that's theirs again. Sudbury's third in 2028. Guelph's third in 2029. Brampton's third in 2029. And Brantford's fourth in 2029. Colin, this is a deal where, sure, you give up a lot. Normally, you don't see 9 picks sent with 3 players, maybe 1 or 2, not 3. It's still not as bad as the Niagara Kingston deal for Jason Robertson and Jacob Paquette, sending Ian Martin, Billy Constantino, and 11 picks to the Kingston Frontenacs. But for this one, this is a move you go all in for, and if you win, you don't really care what the future looks like because you got your ring, you got your banner up top of the TD Civic Center, and eventually the new arena that's going to be in Brantford, and that's all you care about. And this is that kind of move where you just throw all your chips into the middle of the table. You've already shown, obviously, during the offseason that you're going for it, but this kind of cements that where it doesn't really make a difference about the future. We just want to win now, and that's our goal.
Yeah, it gives you the opportunity, right? It sets you up. It sends a message in the room, right? It's sent on both sides. I think this was a deal that was in talks for a long time. I mean, going back to the offseason, this was a deal that was talked about for a while. I mean, there's a lot of negotiations going on. When you have a lot of players involved like this too, it's a lot of talking to players. It's a hard deal to get figured out. It's a long deal to get done because there's so many players involved, right? You have 5 players involved. Take a long time to get that deal processed through the league, meetings with the players, agents, and forth. But no, it's a good deal for both sides. I mean, Oshawa gets draft picks. Sorry, what's that, Reece?
Yeah. No, just no move clauses having to get waived as well. For O'Donnell, first rounder.
Yeah, so like it's a long deal. It's a process for this deal. And I mean, for Oshawa, you're getting picks. You're getting an excellent leader who I think should be the captain of the Oshawa Generals in the second half of the season. I don't think Lucas Moore wants to get moved again. I know I've gotten a few comments about the trade and Outdogs, a few Generals fans about, is Lucas Moore a potential deadline flip? I don't think that's the case with Lucas Moore. I think Lucas Moore wants to play minutes. He's going to play minutes in Oshawa, and I think that he's fine with that. With the way the landscape is for OAs, right? You play a lot, you get a contract, or you get a chance to play in the NCAA. That's kind of, I think, the approach for Lucas Moore. I mean, I could be wrong here. I could be, if the deal comes and you have an opportunity to go play on a team, well, you might take it. But if it's not top minutes, I think he's glad where he is. I think he's in a great spot in Oshawa. He's going to log a ton of minutes. He's going to be playing 35 minutes a night there for Oshawa. So it's a great move for Oshawa. They get a leader.
He takes over Danford's minutes.
Yeah, big time. Big time. Him and Wang are going to be they're going to be doing the heavy lifting. So I think that's a great move. And honestly, for O'Donnell up front, Aidan O'Donnell is going to get the opportunity to play with Owen Griffin, I would imagine, a few times. He did game 1. I think yesterday he didn't or on Sunday. I don't think he did to start the game. I could be wrong, but I think that it's a good opportunity for O'Donnell to play with Owen Griffin still. He's playing with Malhotra and Dennis and Brantford. That's a good opportunity for him there. Yep. He goes to Oshawa. If he plays with Griffin, plays with Rogowski, he can get him the puck. I think that's a good opportunity for Aiden O'Donnell to play a lot of minutes in his draft year. He's going to play more minutes in that role than what he would in Brantford, especially with Nick Rossetto coming back shortly. That's one of those moves for the Bulldogs in generals where it fits both sides, right? You get the opportunity to play. You get the draft picks for Oshawa. That's great. Roger Hunt, you had to jump all over that to get the amount of picks they got. And Luca Di Placido, we'll see. It sounds like it's just a fill. It's just a throw in, and we'll see what happens. But for Oshawa, it's a good deal. And for the Bulldogs, I mean, you get two stud defensemen, what you kind of needed, right? You watch them play day in and day out, and you're thinking, yeah, you look at the plus minus leaders in Ben Danford, Zach Sandu. They fit kind of what they needed. Sandu's a tough defenseman. They have Ryder Bolton up front. Now they have Sandu on the back end. And then Ben Danford, one of the defensemen in the Ontario Hockey League. So it's a great move for both sides. It helps Brantford go for it. Helps Oshawa look for the future.
Yeah. Felt like we've said this at least twice a year for the last 4 years. But the Niagara Ice Dogs and London Knights hooked up for a trade. Brady Wasslin goes to the London Knights for Noah Reed, coming back the other way, 1-for-1.
Maybe they only have the London area code phone number.
Yeah. How do I phrase this without chirping too hard or making the Ice Dogs sound stupid? Why? I know there's stuff behind the scenes. Like, if there's a trade request, whether it be by the player, whether it be by the agent, obviously there's the rumors going to Boston. Yeah, like,
he committed early. He commits early. I mean, the writing's on the wall.
And you know what? I'm going to defend the Ice Dogs here for a second, because there were a lot of fans on social media that are on the Ice Dogs about this trade. And I'll be honest, behind closed doors, I'm like, Niagara, what are you doing? How do you not get more than that? But then when you look back and see why they didn't get more than that, London's not a team that really likes to give up their young players unless they're in a championship year and they can get a veteran to go all in. But also, what picks did you want if you're a Niagara fan? What high-end picks were you going to get from the London Knights? Realistically, there is no draft pick that comes back to Niagara that has an impact on your team over 2 to 3 seasons from now. Just based off of what London has in the cupboard. And I mean, it's not like it's empty. But I don't think it's where you want it to be if you're trading away Brady Wasslin. I don't know. Brady Wasslin, to me, should get you 2 second-round picks. Or is that just they
got one, but they got 4 thirds.
It might be a rental. Like, and this is part of my question to you, Colin. It's a 1-for-1 deal. Should Niagara have tried to get picks? Sure. Did Brady going to school next year have an impact on them not getting picks? I'm curious what you think about that. Do you think that's the case, or is that London saying we want to hang on to those?
Well, I want to know how many teams they actually talked to in the trade negotiation, and I honestly, I truly believe. I mean, the writing's on the wall. You commit to college that young. It's on the wall, the writing, right? Like what the future is in Niagara for Wasslin. It was right there for him. I truly believe that you look at the deal, and BC has a good point about Lachenko for Wasslin last year was the top 12. And I actually remember that. A lot of people talking about that deal where it was interesting at the time, that deal. I think when I look at this trade, if that's the only place you want to go, and we saw this with Sam Dickinson, but they got a lot for Dickinson.
Yeah.
Do like, is that all you want? Is that like, I mean, Noah Reed, he's a local kid. He's an effective player for sure. And I think he's going to play a good role for the Ice Dogs. And to be honest, with the Ice Dogs system this year, I think Noah Reed might fit the system better. When you watch the Ice Dogs play, it's a dump and chase type of hockey. I don't think that's winning hockey by any means. I don't think that wins playoff rounds. But I think that with the way their system is, Noah Reed's a lot better fit. I mean, I've been critical, but I've questioned about Ryan Robrick there. I mean, the system's dump and chase hockey. He's a skilled guy. He's a catch and release guy. He's a shooter. That's not fitting a shooter in that system.
Yeah.
That's just my opinion on that. That's what I believe. So come at me if you disagree with that one, but that's just my opinion on that. I don't think that the system's right for him either. And Brady Waslin's in that system. I don't think he fits it. I think Noah Reed's going to look really good in that system. I really do. He's not going to get the points that Waslin's going to get, but I'm telling you right now, he's going to have more than half the block shots that Waslin has this year in that system. He's going to have more penalty kill minutes in that system. More. So the game that Niagara values, Noah Reed fits that system more than Brady Waslin does. Call me crazy, but it's a fact. When you look at the dump and chase hockey, when you look at the way Niagara plays, Noah Reed fits the system more than Brady Waslin. On the flip side, London sold players. Waslin fits the Knights to a T. I think if I'm Niagara, it would have been, and obviously maybe they did ask for this. But if I'm Niagara, I'm trying to bolster up my thirds. The Ice Dogs have no third-round picks for the next 4 years. London has 3. Or has 4, actually. And one of them is Niagara's own third in 2028. I'm at least trying to get that pick back because the Ice Dogs right now only have 3 picks in the first 3 rounds of the next 4 drafts. And that's only 3 second-round picks. They have none this year. So you got to try. You got to try, right? Like, and maybe they did.
But if, to me, then hang on to him until you get it.
But what if he holds out and goes back?
Well, it sucks to suck.
But then they get nothing. Then they have the Sudbury situation, and we know what we thought about Sudbury's deadline last year. That's just my point. That's just like, it's interest. Like, yeah, it would be very intriguing to see how the negotiation process went. Maybe it was, hey, London, we need to call this guy up from our farm system. We're going to call Niagara. Maybe that's what it was. Like, I don't know. Like, no pun intended, but like,
no, but I don't know how you can't find a way to get a pick. Like you said, like a third
round picks, man.
I don't get it. Like, again, I think Brady Waslin could have been worth 2 seconds.
Even a fifth.
Now, again, if he leaves for school, then there might be a different argument. If he stays in London for another year, then, I mean, you would have liked to have gotten 2 seconds. But, to me, Waslin moving away from Niagara guarantees him another year in the OHL. That's just my personal opinion. I think he's in the OHL for another year.
Reece, is he's staying in London, right?
Yeah, well, I think so.
I agree.
How long until the decommitment?
That's where if I'm Niagara, a general manager that isn't in Sudbury, because Sudbury and Ottawa trade, we know how that went last year at the trade deadline. What are we doing? But I just think if I'm Niagara, well, then I'm asking for conditions. I'm asking for a condition this year. He finishes the year. Or let's say he plays 40 games. He plays 40 games for the London Knights this year. Okay, I want a conditional 30. He plays 40 games. Boom, we get our pick back in 2028. Sorry for anyone on YouTube. I'm reading your draft picks right now. But 2028, that Niagara third-round pick. So let's get our pick back. Because we have no thirds. So Niagara gets their pick back. They have 1 third-round pick now. And then I'm saying, hey, you're getting a potential first-round pick in the National Hockey League. You're getting a guy that we think that could score 40, 50 goals for you guys. I mean, Mark Hunter, you're making this trade because you believe in Brady Waslin. Automatic. Yeah. I mean, let's be honest here.
So then,
BC, it's Reece, you and I. For Waslin, I can see him scoring 40 goals at 18, 19 years old easily.
Yeah.
And
for me, that's where you also throw a condition on a draft pick for how many games he plays next year.
Exactly.
If he's back in London next year,
picks,
and he plays what? Let's say half the games. Next year, out of 68, he plays 34. Then Niagara gets another third or that second round pick.
100%.
Because if he plays another half season in London next year, that's a trade that should result in a second round pick 100%. Going the other way with the talent that Brady Waslin's got. That's my thinking
100%.
Behind it. It's not saying London's cupboard was empty and you made a trade with a team that had zilch to give
but
to you.
You got to make it work.
It's about adding. You're right. Adding those conditions. If he comes back next year, if he doesn't, then maybe a 1-for-1 doesn't look stupid. Whereas you see him play another full year or two, or you see a decommitment from Boston,
100%.
Not having conditional picks makes
Not
it
having
even
anything?
worse.
Oh yeah, that's a
Makes
fireable
it even
offense.
worse.
That's a fireable offense. If you're a general manager, that's a fireable offense in the NHL. I mean, you get torched for that. So Reece, hypothetical trade here. Let's draw one up.
All right.
So Brady Wasson's going to the London Knights. Okay.
Yep.
100%.
Yep.
I'm fine.
Scored his first goal Sunday.
Noah Reed comes back to Niagara. Okay, that's great. We need a player. He fits our system. Perfect. I like that. But if he plays 40 games this year and gets 70 points, I want a conditional 3rd round pick for this year's draft. Boom. And then if he comes back next year, I want a 3rd and a 4th round pick. If he comes back next year, so that's 3 picks, 2 thirds, which London has, and 1 4th. All conditional for this year's performance. And if he comes back next year, at least we get 2 picks.
Yeah, I was going to say, like, next year it's not even based on points. It's about how many games he plays, because we know he's going to get points if he comes back to London.
It's a no-brainer. At least
it's if he comes back. Like, I don't know. Maybe you make a stipulation if he plays past January 1st, then Niagara gets that extra pick, or whatever. 34 games, whatever the case might be. That's what I'm curious about. If that ever came up in the conversation, where sure, no problem. But if he doesn't go to Boston next year or the year after
100%.
that, I want my conditions on some of the picks that you currently own, so I can get those if you benefit from another year of Brady Wasson.
100%. And that's why I think you have 3 conditional picks, 1 for this year, 2 for next year, and Noah Reed.
Yeah.
I think that's a fair deal. It's not, I don't think it's as fair as it would be. I think that honestly, if you're going to trade Brady Wasson, you got to get high picks. You got to get seconds and multiple thirds. But for where the deal is, and if it's a trade request, if he doesn't want to be there, I think that's a fair deal. 3 conditional picks, 1 for this year, 2 next year, and Noah Reed.
Yeah.
That seems like the league standard if a guy wants out.
Yeah, but I don't know. Maybe this is me just being like, you want to help the player out as much as possible, but this has happened in Niagara quite a few times over the last number of years. And I don't mean like 15 players have said, I'm not playing here, trade me. That's not the case. That's not what I'm saying at all. But it's happening way more often than it should, or than it did with the Niagara Ice Dogs organization I don't know, 22 or 23.
I'll tell you the number one reason why.
Let's hear it.
No leadership. Where's I mean, automatically everyone
not
knows
having a captain for a full season. That does not help. Yeah.
Who's the voice? It's not a surprise to me. Me personally, it's not a surprise that they had a little fun date night in the movie theater last year after Gavin Bryan gets moved. That I'm not surprised. Gavin Bryan is a close friend of ours. We know Gavin pretty well. I know for a fact that is not happening with Gavin Bryan. I think everybody knows that. In their own organization, they would know that. I mean, so it's not a serious title, though, the captain of the Ice Dogs. I know about. I mean, again, that's my opinion, but it's not a serious title. Being the captain is just a thing to get on the trade board, but that's just my opinion.
Yeah, and I mean, that's no disrespect to Kevin He's one hell of a player. He's going to be in the American Hockey League lighting it up for the Manitoba Moose next year. But yeah, it does seem like you wear the C in Niagara. It doesn't mean as much if you wear it in London or Kitchener or Sault Ste. Marie or wherever. So there was another trade. There was another trade that took place, in all Midwest Division trade for this one. The Erie Otters and Owen Sound Attack, who actually played each other on Sunday too.
Yeah,
an 8-3 Owen Sound win. But Erie sending Wesley Royston to Owen Sound, Michael Deck going the other way to the Erie Otters. Colin Ward, how do you see this trade? In division too. That's 2 in-division trades this past week.
I think it's an opportunity for both to play. I mean, Royston never really got his footing down this year with the points. 27 points, 63 games. You look at the first 13 games with Erie, he has 3 and 13. But hey, he has 1 and 2 with Owen Sound. And I think that with Royston, he's a big guy. Honestly, you watch him play in Erie, and now you're going to watch him in Owen Sound. You're looking at 6'4", 190, a right-handed shot. That's appealing. That's appealing. Yep, and that's a forward too, a right winger, up and down the wing at that size. You know, I think that's a good opportunity, right? You have opportunity for these guys. I think it's just it's an opportunity for both teams. And hockey trade, we don't usually see the trades we did with Shaw and Brantford. Like, these are the kind of trades we expect to see at this time of the year. And Royston, but that's kind of the move. And I think it's a good hockey move to get opportunity for both sides.
Yeah. So we'll see how that works out. Owen Sound continuing their hot start, which was again on display. 8 goals on Sunday against Erie.
Royston reminds me of the Mason Ray situation when he went to Niagara. Get an opportunity.
Yeah. Good point on that one.
It was what it was, right, in Niagara, but it's kind of similar.
Yeah.
And now
I'm
Ray's
with you.
in Owen Sound.
Absolutely. Guelph Storm making headlines as well, naming co-captains for the 2025-2026 season. Paquette and Luchenko will wear the C's, of course, one at home, one on the road, which is hilarious because you started to see trade rumors for both these guys heading to Windsor, and then they announced them as captains. Awkward. But so yeah.
Where's the sources coming from on that?
That's all I have to say on that one. Or else again, I'll probably say something I'll regret. But co-captains, I've never been a huge fan of. Just my personal opinion. You put one C on one guy, and that's it. That's your captain for the season. Alternate captains if you want to.
Trade value move.
I don't like either. Thank you, Todd McClelland. For the Red Wings, it's just Raymond Insider this year. But I mean, the C adds another pick potentially. I mean, a lot of people aren't expecting
means a lot to us
to be in the Guelph Storm organization after the deadline. So, exactly. And I loved what Jet Luchenko said. And to the media, I believe it was on Sunday or immediately when he came back. I can't remember what day it was. About the rumors and just like he just wants to play. He's coming back to play. He likes it in Guelph. If he gets moved, it is what it is. But right now he's really focusing on playing hockey for the Guelph Storm, and that's all you can do at this point.
Has there ever been a player in the OHL that's been getting moved longer than Jet Luchenko has? This goes back to last year. This has been over a year now. Trade rumors.
He's giving McTavish a run. That went on for a while. Mason McTavish trade rumors.
Yeah, that did. But McTavish, it felt like it was just the year. No? Like at the start of the year?
Yeah, I guess. Yeah.
Yeah, and then Shane Wright, too, with Kingston, BC, gives a good point.
Yeah.
But it feels like it's one of those deals where it's talked about every month from last year, from November on. So almost a year now. It feels like it's been one of those deals been talked about, and it's been close. It's been close, but yeah, it's interesting.
Yeah. So, also the CHL U.S. National Team Development Program. I'm just gonna say CHL USA. Name. Yeah, no kidding, eh? Like, what the heck are we doing?
It's too long of it's cute and all, but yeah, come on.
Too many letters. My personal opinion.
I'm not good with letters. That was 23 years ago.
Well, my dad's a grade 3-4 teacher, and the amount of kids that can't read or write right now is outstanding. But 10 OHL players selected.
Get the phones out.
Autocorrect, man.
Yeah.
Autocorrect's
dangerous, though. You got to be careful with autocorrect.
Oh, yeah.
It's dangerous.
Don't put anything on WhatsApp. But 10 players from the Ontario Hockey League have been named to the CHL USA Prospects Challenge that will take place out west. Up front, it's Ethan Belchetz of the Windsor Spitfires, Alessandro Diorio of the Sarnia Sting, Beckham Edwards of the Sarnia Sting. Sting fans are going to be really interested in this game, and I'm excited for them. Nikita Klepov from the Saginaw Spirit, who scored his 13th goal of the year on Sunday against Brantford. Speaking of the Bulldogs, Caleb Malhotra will be there. Adam Novotny from the Peterborough Petes. Brooks Rogowski from the Oshawa Generals, and Ryan Robrick from the Niagara Ice Dogs. On defense, Chase Reed from the Sioux Greyhounds, and then goaltender Zach Jovanovski from the Guelph Storm. Tecumseh, Ontario native. Going to be one of 2 goaltenders that are competing in that game.
Good for him, eh?
Or those games, I should say.
That's cool. Right on.
Yeah, I love that.
It's hard to be the goalie. It's hard. You only take 2 goalies. It's tough. It's hard to be a goalie.
it's nice that there's 2 games, so you're getting a full game. Whereas previous it was, I'm playing 15 minutes or 15 minutes, 25 minutes or 30 minutes, whatever
30.
it was. 30 is half of 60. Wow.
Whatever the commercial break was, he used to switch.
Holy crap. That's
all
bad.
good.
So that's a guarantee.
Bad at numbers. Teamwork.
Oh my God. So you're guaranteed a full 60 minutes, right? I think that's the big thing for goaltenders of this. You get 2 games and 1 full game to be a part of it. And I guess look cool as a backup for a full game. I don't know. That
get a new
has
hat.
that has no interest from the scouts, how you look backing up. But I mean, the fans will think it's cool. Some guys have good styes. So
me personally, if I was backing up, I'd be tracking every single shot like crazy, trying to look good in front of the scouts. I try to do everything. I'd be like a coach. Change him up, boys. Change him up. Come on, D. Change him up.
Oh my God.
I'd be running the bench.
Attaboy.
Number 13's out there. He's your best forward. Let's go. Change him up. We gotta get the matchup. It'd be unbelievable. I'd be all over that as a backup. I miss that like crazy.
Oh geez. Yeah, so to get to a couple of players that are still in the NHL that might come back to the O, I would say more guys than not are probably in the NHL, including Sam Dickinson, who just played his 10th game on Sunday in a loss to the Detroit Red Wings. So you mentioned it, Colin. He got the meeting. He got the meeting, and we know that cool. In spring training before opening day.
Best part about
walk
sports.
Into the coach's office and you get the chat, and then you go call your parents saying, "Hey, I'm making my major league debut on opening day," and for Sam Dickinson to essentially be told find accommodations permanently. That's pretty cool. So congratulations to him, and you know what? He scored his first goal in the National Hockey League in that 10th game, which is pretty sweet.
He looked really good in that game, too. It's nice playing the Red Wings after the Bulldogs game. It was nice to be able to watch that game and to see Dickinson playing overtime, too, playing regularly 3-on-3. It felt like in BC, you can chime in if you can. I feel, because I know you're a Sharks guy, and that probably helps the burden of cheering for the Buffalo Sabres because you're probably already onto the Sharks at that time of the year. It's November. But anyway, I feel like Dickinson, I don't know how many minutes he's played on a regular, but I feel like, especially the game on Sunday night against Detroit, he was a regular in overtime. I mean, he was out there twice and logged a lot of minutes. It was cool to see. It looked like, and it was funny, and Ken Daniels calling the game for the Red Wings, and Chris Osgood billeting it with USA Hockey. One of the Plot brothers, too, which is kind of cool, at their place in Michigan. But it's cool, like, talking about how you could tell how Dickinson's strengths in the Ontario Hockey League, how good he was in the OHL. But his minutes in San Jose, he looked really good in that overtime. He might have been the Sharks' best defenseman in that overtime, and I thought he was really good. Like, he was sharp. You get a transitioning the puck as we expect. Out there with Celebrini and Smith, too, to start overtime. That was pretty cool to see him out there against big guys. Oh, Brandon just sent his last 5 games. 17-20, 11-26, 12-04, 14-23, and 16-something as the message clears off. But
16-23.
That's pretty what was it, sorry?
16-23 was that total in the last game.
So, I mean, his minutes went down. They're starting again, but he earned those minutes. And it looks like the Sharks are giving it old school, which is kind of cool, where you got to earn those minutes, right? Like, we're going to put you in situation, but you got to earn those minutes. We're not going to give you 15, 16 minutes a night unless we don't feel like it's necessary in this given night, right? And yesterday it was definitely necessary. Scores a goal, he gets rewarded, plays in overtime. Sam Dickinson's going to be a star there. And it's nice. San Jose has all these good young forwards. It's nice to have that star D right on the back end. With being Red Wing fans, we saw that with more at Sider, how much that changed when Sider came up. So that's cool to see in San Jose.
Yeah, and I mean, we're going to continue with the San Jose Sharks and Michael Misa, who has yet to play 9 games, let alone 10. He's currently at 7 games played, 1 goal, 2 assists, as you can see on your screen if you're watching on YouTube. And being in Saginaw on Sunday for that Bulldogs and Spirit game and chatting with Dylan Clark, the voice of the Spirit, you know, it's coming up on a pretty big week for the Saginaw Spirit organization, right? Because they're going to find out sooner rather than later if they're getting Michael Misa back for year number 4 in the Ontario Hockey League, or if he's going to be a full-time San Jose Shark for the rest of the season, if they're going to begin his ELC. So, Colin, what's your opinion on this? Do you think Misa should be a Shark? Do you think he should come back to Saginaw? What do you think?
Well, first off, BC, is his minutes still low or high? I know you're a Sharks guy. I keep relying on you from the clouds. Is his minutes still are they still low? Because if they're still low, I'm sending them back. 7 games, 3 points. It shows how good of a skill set he is, right? To be that good in the limited minutes is pretty impressive. Unless they are going to use him in a big role, if they're going to use him in a little bit of a bigger role, I truly believe he's coming back. And I know he's a healthy scratch against Detroit, and that's too bad because I was really excited to see him play.
Yeah, so I'll ask you this, Colin. What do you consider low for Misa's minutes? And Brandon just sent it in 10, 11, 10, 10, and 11:02. Do you consider 10 minutes or below too low? Is 12 minutes too low? Where's your bar on that?
I'm looking at the situational stuff too, right? Is he playing on the fourth line? Who's he playing with? If he's playing with skilled guys, I love it. If he's playing with non-skilled guys, and if he's playing on the prototypical fourth line in fourth line minutes, I'm not a fan of that. So that's not his game. He's never going to be that guy.
So you're essentially Michael Misa. You're essentially wondering, is he playing with guys that are part of the San Jose Sharks' future, or is he playing with guys who are placeholders until they're ready to start competing again?
Well, we saw it in Detroit. So he's not playing with top 6. I'm sending him back. What's the point? He's not going to be a guy that's on the penalty kill. He's not going to be that guy. He's not going to be the guy that's going to go out and lay so many hits a year. That's not going to be part of his bonus come contract time. And you look at his bonuses in his contract, it's not going to be because of that. It's going to be because he has the puck. He's creating offense. He's getting scoring opportunities. He's getting shots on goal. That's going to be his bread and butter in the NHL. You're drafted second overall. You're not going to be that. Beckett Seneca got sent back. In Beckett Seneca, we saw the leap he had last season with the Anaheim and Oshawa. We saw that. I think if I'm in Saginaw, is a great system. It's a good spot for him. It's a proven track record for him for the last few seasons. The last 3 seasons he's been in Saginaw. I'm sending him back. He's going to be the guy. He's going to, obviously, we know, man, if he goes back to Saginaw, I mean, look up real quick where they are on the power play and where they're going to be if Misa comes back, right? And their score is going to go through the roof. I think for sure Michael Misa comes back. If I'm the San Jose Sharks, he's not playing on the power play. You have contracts in the way. I'm sending him back. I'm taking a note what Anaheim did with Beckett Seneca, and I'm sending him back. I think that's the way it's got to be.
Yeah, I agree. So, we'll see. We're coming up to that time. 7 games. He's got 2 left before he starts his ELC. So, we'll see what happens with Michael Misa. But we've got to hit a break coming up. So let's highlight the OHL Players of the Month for October before we get to Players of the Week around the Ontario Hockey League. The OHL Player of the Month, Jake O'Brien. I mean, this guy continues to just be awesome. 8th overall pick in the 2025 NHL entry draft. Just has been lighting it up for the Bulldogs, and he's leading the league in points right now. So Jake O'Brien, Player of the Month. Goalie of the Month, and it was a tough start to November for Joey Costanzo, getting chased in Saginaw. Giving up 5 goals against the Spirit. So, in the fight. Yeah, there's that too. But he was the goaltender of the month for October. Defenseman of the month, Carson Woodall of the Windsor Spitfires. I mean, at top of the Western Conference, not a surprise to see 2 guys from the Spitfires as part of that. And then rookie of the month, Nikita Klepov, which 13 goal. Well, he scored his 13th goal on Sunday against Brantford. But 12 goals in that month of October. A guy that's just burst onto the scene, and he looks really, really good for the Saginaw Spirit. That we're going to chat about them in segment number 2 as part of our establishment and who is, who isn't, who's kind of mid right now. He's going to be a part of that conversation, so we'll touch on him a little bit more moving on. But he had a really good month of October for the Saginaw Spirit. Now to the players of the week. In the Ontario Hockey League, from the Owen Sound Attack, Harry Nancy, 3 games. He scored once. He had 8 assists for a total of 9 points and was also a +4. Yeah, that's pretty good, Morty, eh? That earned you
That's
minutes,
a good
I'd
week,
say.
eh? You imagine? That's unreal.
Yeah. I wish I was that talented.
Yeah.
Goalie of the week, Alexi Med. Yeah, no kidding, eh? Holy crap. Absolutely. We'd be playing pro hockey in Sweden. For sure we would. 4th line grinders. Or Colin Wood would be in net, and then I'd be that stupid defenseman that would screen him all the time.
You'd be getting hit in the then. I used to hit my knee in the ankles if they got in my way.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, absolutely.
Modeled my game after Ron Hextall. Kidding. But no, I used to be aggressive. You know what? The worst phase for me in goaltending as we get to goalie of the week. Fitting. The worst phase in goaltending is when Peter Mrazek had that heck of a World Junior in Ottawa. I think it was in Ottawa, or was it in Edmonton? It was in Canada. And remember when the celebration and stuff with Czech? Like, it was just wild. And I remember, he played.
Then they made him the logo of the World Juniors in Czech.
Yeah. And that was inspiring for me. I remember Peter Mrazek going out to practice the following days, trying to snap the puck around, be a defenseman.
Oh, yeah.
Even though it's one of my biggest pet peeves, but I actually used my stick a lot. A lot of contact, poke check. No one was deking me. If you're going to try to deke me, I'm going to make you look bad and just poke check it off your stick. It's the easiest move in hockey as a goalie.
Yeah, that'd be. Love that.
I used to love shootout. Loved it.
Did you ever go Doumani 2-pad stack?
No, because then I'm out of position.
All right, fair enough.
If I have to 2-pad stack, that means I'm caught and I'm out of position. Then I got I got to get back in position. So then it's desperation. Honestly, I think that's why Doumani Hasek. But I mean, he was just one of the best goalies of all time, too. Yeah, so he could do that.
That's true. Yeah. Alexei Medvedev, OHL goalie of the week. In 2 games, he was 2-0 with a goals against average of 1, save percentage of .970, and he made 65 saves in those 2 victories. OHL Rookie of the Week, we're sticking in the blue paint. Ryder Fedorov of the Ottawa 67s, Colin Ward, big fan of this man.
Big time. I'm surprised it's his first one.
Yeah, no kidding. 9.96 goals against average, .960 save percentage, 48 saves over those 2 contests, including a shutout for the 67s, who look to get back on a roll after having a tough couple of weeks or so. And then the GOHL Prospect of the Week from the Listowel Cyclones. He's an Erie Otters prospect. Lyndon Cabral, 2 games, 2 goals, 4 assists, and 6 total points for the Cyclones. And that will bring us to our first break, or only break, I should say. I don't know why I said first. That was weird. But on the other side, we've still got a ton to go over. Who's established, who's not. Power rankings included in there as well. And yeah, it's going to be a fun second segment. Hope you'll stick around here on the OHL in 60 podcast.
Butt ends are hockey stick grips, specifically for the top of the stick, designed to replace traditional cloth tape. They're made of rubber and offer a more consistent and comfortable grip than tape, aiming to improve performance and reduce slippage. Butt ends are an alternative to regular stick tape that provide enhanced grip and comfort, are durable, reusable, and consistent, with the ability to reduce vibration. The grips are available in a variety of styles, designs, colors, and even have options for specific player names. At Butt Ends, they're committed to providing the world's highest quality stick grips and continue to bring new technology and ideas with each new grip design, regardless of sport. Alex Petrangelo, Akil Thomas, Max Domi, Aiden Hill, and Tim Stutzla are a few who have proudly used Butt Ends for peak performance at the NHL level. Check them out at buttonswithaz.com and use our referral code buttons.com/discount/armchairgm to get 10% off your order as part of our community. Engineered for greatness and performance, Butt Ends, the #1 grip in hockey.
Fourth Wall is the official merchandise supplier of the Armchair GM Sports Network. Our user-friendly site is print to order with no minimum items or inventory needed, shipped right to your doorstep safely and efficiently from their North American warehouse. All of our logos are available to supporters, listeners, and viewers can have the best variety available to them for their swag preferences. All items are priced as low as possible, allowing everybody who wants to support our business with the opportunity to do so, receiving quality and comfortable products in return. Shop today at fourthwall.com with the direct link to our Armchair merch store in the description of all episodes and in the bio of all of our social media accounts. Become an Armchair GM today with Fourth Wall.
You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.
Welcome back to the OHL in 60 podcast. I'm Reece Doumani along with Colin Ward. BC is behind the scenes up in the clouds, and thanks so much to everybody tuning in on the Armchair GM Sports Network YouTube page, as well as listening wherever you get your favorite podcasts. To start off this second segment, just some details have been announced about the Connor McDavid OHL Top Prospects game that will be taking place in Peterborough, Ontario at the Peterborough Memorial Centre. The game taking place Wednesday, January 14th, 2026. Tickets are going on sale Wednesday, November 12th. So that is 2 Wednesdays from now, not tomorrow, but next Wednesday. They'll be at 10 a.m. with the pre-sale beginning this Wednesday, November 5th at 10 a.m. So, okay, I guess it kind of starts this Wednesday, but that's the pre-sale. So a link to purchase tickets will become active at 10 a.m. on November 12th. Of course, you can grab the pre-sale tickets through Ticketmaster on November 5th at 10 a.m. So that should be a good follow-up. And again, it was such a great event in Brantford last year. It's going to be just as awesome in Peterborough this year. If you want to read the full article on that announcement, you can look at the OHL's Twitter page. They've tweeted out the link, but it's also on the Peterborough Pete's website as well, as they are the ones hosting the game. And now, Colin, this might be one of our favorite segments of the year. Always talking about, once we get into the beginning to mid-November, depends on the show, but what teams have gotten established in the Ontario Hockey League? Not many compared to maybe last year. One, maybe two. You're absolutely right, Colin. And to be honest with you, I don't think it's a heavy total in the field of going for it this year in the Ontario Hockey League. You're maybe going to see 5 at the most really go for an OHL championship this season, and one of them being the Brantford Bulldogs. 2 clear cuts, yeah, for sure. Windsor, Brantford, absolutely.
Yeah. A lot of questions with Owen Sound, right? What they're going to do.
Yep.
Kitchener gets the Mem Cup, built for this year and next year.
Yep, absolutely. So let's start on the Brantford Bulldogs, Colin. I mean, we get to watch them on a daily basis. 13-0-2-1 to start the season. This is the best start in franchise history for the Bulldogs organization. They've got 29 points in 16 games. They've scored 88 goals. They've only allowed 39. Their power play is operating over 40%, and their penalty kill at 83.3%. And on Sunday, yes, they were going up against the 17th ranked penalty kill in the Saginaw Spirit. And yes, Jilkin gifted the Bulldogs a 5-minute power play because he was called for checking to the head on Merrick Van Acker. He got 5 in a game for that. And the Bulldogs scored twice on that power play. And in total, they were 4 for 5. And that was the difference because they won by 4 goals. So for the Bulldogs,
5 for 6 on
number
the weekend.
one. No kidding. And scoring 13 goals in those 2 games in Michigan. But right now, clear cut, the one for sure team that is established in the OHL. Yes, you can make the argument for the Windsor Spitfires. Don't get me wrong. But the Brantford Bulldogs right now are in a league of their own. And I don't think it's close. Like, I think this is London of last year right now. This is the exact same situation that London was in last year at this point entering November.
Oh, for sure they look good right now. I mean, it's only 16 games in. A lot happened in the season so far. In the 16 games, 9 times they've scored 6 goals in a game. which is a good recipe for success and it's surprising their power play at 40.4%. It's kind of a surprise because I always thought that I watched the power play day in and day out. I'm thinking they need a goal scorer. They need a shooter. Maybe it's because Nick Lardis is in there, but yeah. It's almost like they passed us so many goals, right? But no, they look good to start, but a lot can happen in the season, right? They got to create depth yet. There's a lot of ads still there. They got to get guys back in the lineup. Nick Rossetto should be returning soon to the lineup for the Bulldogs. I mean, but they still need a lot that needs to be involved. So you hope if you're a Bulldogs fan, they don't peak too early, right? Like something we saw last year, right? Teams that go all out in the offseason get bounced in the first round. So it'll be interesting to see what happens, but you got to continue to build. You got to continue to, you can't get complacent. And that's the one thing I'm interested in seeing right now because championships aren't won in November. They're won in May, June.
Yep.
So it'll be exciting to see how this season holds out for them.
Absolutely. Do you consider Windsor established?
I think that I mentioned Brantford. I think Windsor needs a couple pieces yet. I like their forwards. I really do. I like them up front. I like their defense. I think that close. They are close. They are by far the second team that's close to establish. Owen Sound. They play hard. They battle hard. Their numbers are legit. Owen Sound.
You could argue that they've got the best goaltending in the Western Conference.
Exactly, the best goaltending in the West. I like them, but they're there yet. I think there's a lot of games yet. I mean, they're 18 games in. We said the first 20 games, right? They kind of know what they are as a team. But I still think there any given night, Owen Sound, that's junior hockey. Any given night, they can be a different team. It's like Kitchener, right? Kitchener now all of a sudden is on a roll. Kitchener's on a roll. But 2 weeks ago, what would we have said about the Kitchener Ranger, right? So teams are closing in on that. I think another 5 games, Kitchener's, the Sault Ste. Marie's, Brady Martin, by the way, a highlight reel goal against Oshawa this weekend. That was incredible. Sault Ste. Marie getting Martin back, naming their leadership group. That's a team that's very close. Windsor, in my opinion, is the most established team in the Western Conference, to answer your question. But Owen Sound, Kitchener, Sault Ste. Marie, maybe in a couple weeks. Kitchener, I think, is the closest out of that 3. But in a few weeks here, each week, we're going to see it more and more. Teams get established in where identity is. And also, it'll be interesting what the London Knights are, right? The London Knights in the West, you can never count them out. Getting Brady Wasson, making the trade that they made, you can tell that where their thought process is. Their 08 group looks very strong for next season, which is dangerous because it figures the Mem Cup is going to Guelph or Kitchener and London's going to be a wagon. It makes sense, right? So that'll be fun to see those 3 teams hopefully battle it out next year. As I know that's a long ways away, but the way things are looking, look out for that. And then in the East, honestly, I think right now in the eye test, I believe the Barrie Colts are going to win their division. I think Barrie on paper, it changes from a seller to a buyer.
So the Barrie Colts then, I'll ask you this, Colin. The Barrie Colts, are they the next Eastern Conference team when we do this again at the beginning of December that you expect to be? They're with the Bulldogs. They're an established group right now. They look like 100%. They are on their way to win the Central.
When December, the first show of December, we will be seeing the Barrie Colts second in the Eastern Conference. We'll be seeing that. That's how close I think Barrie is. You look at their effort, you look at their compete level, you look at the way their front office is, you look at they're very calculated. You get Hemming back, and that presence changes everything. That changes everything. We talked about this last week. You get Hemming back, all of a sudden, well, instead of trading Aitchison and trading Gardner and trading these pieces we have, maybe we go for it, right? It makes it a lot easier. It makes a decision.
Yeah.
It's like what we said about the London Knights, right? Sam Dickinson comes back. You have a decision to make.
Yep.
Barrie Colts get Hemming in it, which is a big surprise. I think it changes everything. I think Barrie is in. I think we found that answer for where we think the division leaders are going to go in that division. I think the Barrie Colts, you get those guys back. That's strong. I mean, you got guys playing their best hockey they played there in their careers. BC just pointed out in our chat here on the Zoom call, 11 points in 17 games for Acidorian, right? Yeah. That's his best hockey he could be playing right now. That, you got to stay at that level. You have to stay at that level for sure. But the Barrie Colts, I mean, you look at the eye test they're passing it. They play hard. You have Elias and Aitchison on the back end, log minutes. I think Barrie is his next closest established team. Niagara, I think, still working out the kinks where they are. Ottawa had a bad week a couple weeks ago. Now they win their last 3 in a row, right? Like,
Yep.
what? Like that's
How about
that's
Nelson
big.
beating London? That's a big win
I
for
was
the
about to mention that.
67s there.
Them beating London's huge, right? So now, but there's the thing with Ottawa, right? Ottawa, it's like that NFL team where they get a big win like that, and then the next week they lose to like the Cleveland Browns. Like that's kind of what the Ottawa 67s are right now. The 67s are they're playing like they're a really good team, but you gotta win that next week. So important. And if can Ottawa be that team that's second in their division, right? That's going to be a race. Yeah. So can Ottawa take that jump? I mean, look at Kingston. Last week we talked to you. Kingston, they were right in that mix. Now you lose 4 in a row. You're in 7th in the East, right? Like the Eastern Conference is no joke. It's you have a bad weekend, you're going from 2nd to 7th. Yeah. You're not going from 2nd to 3rd or 4th. You go 0-2 on a weekend, you're going to 7th. And that's where the East, that's probably what the East is going to be this year. All reality. I don't know if that's going to change much.
Yeah.
So I think Barrie is the team that is going to be a team to watch for. I think they're a treat, but it'll be interesting to see what Ottawa and Niagara do this weekend. They're very intriguing teams to watch this weekend in the Eastern Conference. In the West, Kitchener, Sioux, Owen Sound. Let's see.
Yeah, which gets us to our final topic of the show. It's perfect timing for this, the power rankings. Immediately following us going over kind of what we're going to see over the next month or so and who's established, who's not, and when we have this conversation again in a month's time, what that could look like. So the OHL power rankings really were interesting this week. And by that, I mean every team moved but one. And that being the first place Brantford Bulldogs. So we'll run through the 16 for you. Peterborough Pete's up 1 spot to number 16. The Generals drop a spot to number 15. Saginaw Spirit up 1 to number 14 after, despite losing to Brantford, they did take down the Windsor Spitfires 6-3 in an impressive win for them. North Bay Battalion drop a spot to number 13. Guelph drops a spot to number 12. Flint drops a spot to number 11. Barrie Colts jump 3. They're at number 10. Kingston Frontenac's down 1 to number 9. Ottawa up 1 to number 8. Niagara Ice Dogs drop 3 spots. They're at number 7. London drops 1 spot to number 6. Sioux Greyhounds up 2 to number 5. Owen Sound up 2 to number 4. Windsor and Kitchener, they swap spots. Windsor is now 3. Kitchener is now 2. And as I mentioned, the Brantford Bulldogs, the number 1 team. Means it's time for our power rankings following this week of action. Colin Ward, who is team number 5 for you?
I have a tie for 5. Sault Ste. Marie. I know their special teams
needs. What's with you in ties?
Because I think it's a conference. I think it's the 2 conferences. It's
all
hard.
right.
We had a top 6. If we had a 6, it plays in right for 3 and 3. But I just think, and it's hard to tell right now at the beginning of the year. But for me, it's tie. Sault Ste. Marie. Their power plays terrible, but I'm not going to say it's terrible when they just got Brady Martin back and Chase Reed in the mix. Like, I'm not concerned about that at all. I mean, the Brantford Bulldogs last year, for us covering the team last year, was at like 3% in November. So
yeah,
I'm not worried about that at all right now with Sault Ste. Marie. But Sault Ste. Marie Greyhounds tied for 5th with the Barrie Colts. Barrie winning 4 in a row.
That's big.
Yeah, they're this week they were the best team. I mean, I should have put them higher. So to me, Barrie Colts tied for 5th with Sault Ste. Marie. They've won 4 in a row. Hemming back, they're undefeated in the Hemming era. Why not? Barrie Colts.
Barrie is 6 for me. They're close. Don't get me wrong. They'll be in the top 5 sooner rather than later. Number 5 for me, and they drop a spot this week on my list. It's the London Knights. Dropping down to number 5 on my power rankings. Power play is still clicking. Penalties kill is still good. They've got 21 points on the year. They're 9-3-3 through 15 games. That's 3 games in hand on the Greyhounds, the Attack, and the Spitfires. Not that the Knights could catch the Spitfires with those games in hand. However, you could pass the Owen Sound Attack for that division lead early on here if you win those 3 games in hand. So London Knights, despite that loss in Ottawa, I thought it was a really nice bounce back effort in Kingston to dominate the Frontenac 6-1 and get Wasselin his first goal as a Knight. So they're number 5 for me. Colin Ward, who's number 4?
4 for me, the Owen Sound Attack. Owen Sound's awfully close to the top 3 too. They have a big week this week. Winners of their last 3, undefeated week. You gotta move up. I mean, I think they're staying the same for me of last week, but they're very close. They're very close to that precious top 3. It feels like right now.
Yeah. For me, number 4 are the Kitchener Rangers, and again, it's an impressive run the Rangers are on right now. They've got points in their last 6 games. They're up to 52 goals. 4 on the season. They've only allowed 38, which, based off of my eyes looking at the standings, that is the second least in the Western Conference, only to the London Knights, who have allowed 37. So the Rangers there at 38 goals against is pretty impressive. And they're at number 4 for me. Colin Ward, who's number 3?
3 for me is the Windsor Spitfires. Windsor's going to drop 1 spot for me this week. Tough loss to Saginaw. Obviously, their penalty kill's unbelievable. Their power play's good. And like I say, I don't read into special teams a month into the season. I don't think it means anything yet. Teams aren't established into their system yet for that. There's going to be some wrinkles, but I'm going to say Windsor, for the week that they had, is the 3 spot compared to who I have in the 2 spot.
All right. That's understandable. I can get that. They're still at number 2. Number 3 is the Owen Sound Attack for me. They're just one win behind the Spitfires, so it's a lot closer than that 3-point gap looks. But the Owen Sound Attack, yeah, that's a very big victory on Sunday there against your division rival. I know it's the Erie Otters. I know they're in 10th place, but it's just, for whatever reason, you could be in first playing the 10th place team, but it's an interdivision matchup, so it's a 1-goal game in overtime. It could be that close, and I think for the Owen Sound Attack to score 8 on the Erie Otters, it is pretty huge and pretty impressive, right? You don't see that in many divisional matchups. And to be honest with you, until March, you might see it in March or February once the deadline's over and you've got all of your new players into the system and everything. You could see it, but I still look at that as an impressive win, despite it being the number 2 team versus the number 10 team. So,
absolutely.
Owen Sound, yeah, they're number 3. Colin Ward, number 2 for you, as I already kind of spoiled mine.
Hey, R-Town, what's up? Welcome to my rankings. 5-0-1 in their last 6. They're the hottest team right now in the conference. Kitchener Rangers, I'm back. Shout out Josh Brown. Kitchener Rangers, 2 for me. Hottest team in the Western Conference right now over the last 2 weeks. Kitchener Rangers for me. And I mean, with those games in hand too, right? That gets very interesting to see if they can continue to build off that. But to me, the Kitchener Rangers are my number 2 in my power rankings.
Yeah, I've still got the Windsor Spitfires at number 2. And the reason being is it was a tough weekend. But I get your reasoning behind it. We are sort of going off of recent results and how teams do each week to week.
And honestly, at the start of the year, that was kind of what we talked about anyway, Kitchener Windsor.
Yeah, big time. Absolutely. I still really like Windsor. There's a lot to like about them. I think that was a nice bounce back against Flint the next night. A team that has a ton of talent and really wants to mix things up there in the middle of the Western Conference this year. So the Spitfires rebounding after that game against Saginaw. They're number 2 for me still. I still think they're the second best team in the OHL. And that's also a big reason why I've got them at number 2 also. So number 1, yeah, I mean, Brandon kind of beat us to it. I don't think there's any debate who the number 1 team in the OHL is. So Colin Ward, take it away.
Yep, Brantford Bulldogs. They continue to play better each week. You kind of got to hope that, but after the move with Danford Sandu Friday night or Saturday night's game, I didn't think. I mean, obviously Sanford and Sandu and Danford coming over. You look at the ads.
Man,
like that.
I did that on Sunday. You combine Sandu and Danford, and it turns into Sanford, and you're like, oh man,
yeah,
jeez.
Oh,
but I just knocked something over, by the way.
But I think that I just think you add those guys. You look at game 1 in Flint on the weekend. You tell they had to get comfortable in the system. A lot of differences between Oshawa and Brantford system-wise. Defense in Oshawa is a zone system. Defense in Brantford, you can see, is a man-to-man system in their own end. A lot of differences in the systems this year between the two teams. And I think that the Sunday game, you saw a little bit more comfort. You saw Jay McKee switch up the lines a little bit back there in the second half of the game, level out the minutes. But they look good. I mean, the ads, it just speaks for itself. So Brantford number 1.
Yeah. Yep. I'm pretty well going to say the same as you, so I'm not really going to go too far into it, but the goal differential speaks for itself. I know you don't like to get into power play this early on, Colin, but we look a year ago. You look a year ago for the Brantford Bulldogs, it was what? 4%?
I think it was
power play
6% on
November
1st last year.
And obviously it's a different group. They're still similar. There are still some of the guys that are on this team from last year. But I think when you look at a calendar year from 2.6% to 40.4%, it is hard to ignore that. And 83.3 is on the higher end in the OHL, but it's not the highest. So they're way better than everyone else right now. They're, like I said earlier, they're on their own island. And the Bulldogs are going for OHL Championship number 3 and Memorial Cup number 1 this year.
Yeah, the thing that makes them kind of stand out from the others is they box out well in the D zone. They really do a good job blue line. I noticed Saginaw especially really respected the forecheck or laid off the forecheck. Flint too, where you could see the draft eligible, where last couple of seasons, you look at the Jay McKee system, and the one way you're going to beat it is you're going to forecheck against them, right? You can beat Ottawa a couple of seasons ago in the first round, eliminate them by easily, in my opinion, because of the forechecking ability in the Dave Cameron system. That's kind of out of the way right now. If you do that, you're going to get burnt with the amount of talent on the back end, especially when you have that top line, Bannock, the skating ability that he has. The transition game's been really impressive so far.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, so we'll see. I mean, I'm pretty confident in saying that they're going to continue to add. So we'll wait for those moves to happen. But for now, they are the number 1 team in the Ontario Hockey League. I expect the Eagle rankings for the CHL. They'll be at number 1 again as well. So stay tuned for that. But for everybody who tuned in, whether it be on YouTube, on the Armchair GM Sports Network, whether it be on any audio platform, wherever anybody gets their podcasts, we appreciate it as always every single week. And make sure you subscribe. Don't miss a second of the OHL in 60 podcast and everything that the Armchair GM Sports Network pumps out every single week. BC does a phenomenal job with everything that he does, both with OHL Overtime and the Dog Pound podcast. So make sure you subscribe. Don't miss a second of anything that we've got to offer, and we'll enjoy the first week. November started last weekend, so this might sound stupid. The first full week of November. There we go, Reece. English. Who would have thought English class would have been important in high school? Yes, buy your poppies. Remembrance Day games are starting to take place upcoming. If you can attend them, please do so. And if I have a recommendation, go to Kitchener. That seems like it's the best one every single year. With those commemorative jerseys that the Kitchener Rangers come out with. Yeah, for sure. We could lead off the show with that topic. So make sure you go out, grab your poppies, wear them proud. The red and black, we want to see it on the left side of your jacket, shirt, sweater, whatever the case might be. So yeah, it'll be a good weekend upcoming. Fans, hope you enjoy it, because I know we will. It's going to be fun. So for Brandon Caputo, for Colin Ward, I'm Reece Doumani. Thanks so much for tuning in to the OHL in 60 podcast, and we will chat again in 7 days.
You're listening to the Armchair GM Sports Network.